Hello and welcome to ADHD Mums. In this podcast, we tackle the tough, often unspoken realities of motherhood, neurodiversity, and mental health. You're fine, totally fine, until someone doesn't wave back at school pickup, or a friend doesn't reply fast enough, and suddenly you're spiraling. You've reread the message 3 times, checked if they've been online, and are now Googling, is it normal to want to move to another state after being ignored for 6 minutes? And look, this isn't dramatic. This is research for us neurodivergent people. Neurotypical people don't audit text messages like it's their job. They don't do this full time as if it is going to overtake their lives. And the worst part is that I don't even need a message to spiral. One of my best friends, someone I love truly, flew up recently to see me after 2 years. We spent a few days together in Noosa and it was easy. It was warm. It was beautiful. It felt like she'd never left. But the minute that she did leave, my brain spent the next 48 hours wondering if she still wanted to be friends with me. Nothing happened. There was no tension. There was literally nothing to see except for a harmonious, beautiful friendship of 2 people that had missed each other. But my body acted like something must be wrong, simply because the connection ended. And then I started to worry and doubt every conversation we'd had. And that there is the RSD part, rejection, sensitivity, dysphoria. That part is the one that panics, not from evidence, but from silence, from an ending. You may tell yourself it's nothing, but your body doesn't get the memo necessarily. Your body could be humming. You could have a tight chest, shallow breath. You feel hot. Your brain could be buzzing. It could feel like you're trying to solve some kind of crime or murder mystery, except there is no crime to solve except for a good time in Noosa. And why does it happen? All because someone said, sorry, I can't make it today, or your friend went home. Why does it happen to us? Now, one morning, I waved to a mum at pickup and she didn't see me. My entire nervous system just went into witness protection, it felt like. I immediately started thinking of every single time that I have put my foot in it over my whole lifetime, which is a lot. I even included all of the examples that my friends have actively told me are not a big deal. However, in that moment when she didn't wave back, I started planning a fresh start at a new school and I hadn't even left the car park. So why does one slightly blunt message feel like a massive deal? Why does sorry, can't make it sound like you're not wanted to some of us ADHDers? Why does a single silence, a single message feel like abandonment at the deepest level? But it is not dramatic. It is not being fragile or not resilient enough. It's actually overprotection. Your system may have learned to predict pain and react to the possibility of that like it's proof it's about to happen. Now, that is some very efficient brain wiring right there. Psychologists call this rejection sensitivity dysphoria. It is what happens when your body has spent years equating connection with safety. And put pretty simply, your brain starts to treat uncertainty as danger and silence as evidence. So when that connection wobbles, every alarm you own goes off. You don't react to the message, you react to the memory of every message that didn't say goodbye, but it ended up being goodbye and that you had done something wrong. Because social pain and physical pain share the same real estate in your brain, and your body may not be able to tell the difference between physical pain and emotional pain. Your body might react to a bruise on your leg the same way it would react to silence or someone not replying on a message. And if you're wondering, no, neurotypical brains definitely don't do this. What neurotypical people do is that they get the same delayed reply or awkward pause, and their brain reads it as brand new information each time. It doesn't cross-reference every moment of social discomfort that they've ever had. They might think, that was weird, and then kind of just move on. They take it for what it is. But an RSD-wired ADHD brain, we can't just move on like that. We can't just take that message as it is. What it does is it actually loads an entire archive of every friendship lost, texts unanswered, conversations that ended badly, and then runs them through an emotional projection as if they're happening right now. And again, it's not because we're dramatic or too sensitive. It's because our prediction system has overlearned that connection equals safety and now treats uncertainty like danger. So when does this happen for you? You may be someone who sits or stands with their phone in their hand and they have received, sorry, can't make it. A group chat has gone a little awkward, whatever it is, and you are sitting there wondering what to do. You have 2 choices in this moment. Option 1, go all in. The full RSD adventure. You go for it. You could type out an apology for something that you're not even sure that you've done. You could leave really nervous sounding voicemails on someone's voicemail. You could rewrite a text message 3 times. You could add emojis to soften it. You could hit send and then check it every 2 seconds until they reply. So in the moment when you've responded, you've sent the voicemails, you've texted, you've been on the group chat apologizing for something unrelated or you may not have done, hoping that they'll say, no, you're all fine. And now you're pacing. You're checking your phone, opening Instagram to see if they've been active. And now you're wondering and you're freaking out that you haven't got a reply. Who has done that? I have sent an apology text, the one that says, hey, just checking if you're okay, and then ends if, sorry if I did something weird. And then hours later or even days later, they might write back and say, what? I've just been flat out. I don't even know what you're talking about. And then suddenly you get that massive rush of relief or shame at the same time that you couldn't believe that there was nothing wrong and you kind of done that to yourself. You might find that if this happens around school pickup time, your child might say to you, hey, mum, are you okay? And you might smile and nod and kind of look a little strained in the face and say, just tired. Meanwhile, you're still replaying that unread message so hard that you almost forgot what child you were even picking up. And if you think they can't tell, that's a story that we tell ourselves. They can tell because they're watching you, because maybe they're watching you learn. Maybe they're watching you weigh up your worth depending on someone else's response to them. That's hard to hear and it's hard for me to say because we don't want to affect our kids like this. But kids always know they feel our nervous system louder than our words. And that is, in a nutshell, the RSD loop. Predicting pain, chasing reassurance, confirming fear, losing safety again. It's exhausting. And it teaches the next generation the same dance. And I don't know about you, but I don't want my kids to do the same thing that I do. So what can we do? The second option is to receive the message and you have a choice to say to yourself, okay, this is rejection sensitivity. My body is predicting pain. You can put your phone down, face down on the coffee table, not face up. You can breathe. Breathe in long enough for your shoulders to drop. The first time that I tried to do this, I felt quite ridiculous, if I'm honest. I could feel the itch to check my phone and my brain was yelling at me, this is real, this is not pretend. You need to go into full missing person. What if this really is rejection? But I forced myself to do it anyway, and I sat on my hands and let the feeling pass like a wave, and it felt like such a long time. So the message may be on your phone. They may have written back, they may have called, but they may not have. But in that moment, you're back in your body. Try to see sense, not to just go towards the emotion. I love the saying that as your emotion increases, your intelligence decreases. When I'm stressed out or panicking, I make the worst decisions. And this is how regulation starts. It starts with a breath. It starts with coming back to the body, not with insight, not with information from your phone with a response. That might feed the relief for a moment, but it's just until it happens again. This is how regulation starts, with oxygen. Your body is not going to believe calm just one time. It is going to start to believe it after consistent approaches to this over and over. If you train your brain to feel safety through repetition, it will actually stop looking for safety by reassurance. So instead of having safety around someone responding and telling you it's okay, you can actually start to be okay in those moments, regardless of whether you've got the response or not. And that's the goal. So you might need to pick one anchor, a touch, a sound, a breath, something that you do to bring yourself back down from that high level of emotion back into some intelligent thinking. For me, it is moving. It is walking, it is dancing, it is doing something. And that's how your body learns that this moment isn't danger. It's actually just data and I'm okay. I don't know about you, but this is probably going to be a long-term, lifetime challenge for me. What I do at the moment is I record a short voice note or a video and I say out loud, this isn't rejection, this is just a moment. I record it when I'm calm and then I play it when I'm in one of those moments. I may need to hear, I'm safe. This feeling will pass. And your own voice is powerful because it takes you back to the other time that you knew that this happens and that you are okay. It's kind of like exposure therapy with proof because you become like a calm voice that your own system starts to trust. So what can we do? Keep a reality file. Notes, screenshots, reminders of all the times that you were sure that someone was upset with you, but they actually weren't. And that's your proof that absence doesn't equal rejection. And this is where I keep my RSD social proof file. is just screenshots dumped into a folder, moments where I thought I'd ruined something and it turned out to be fine. So the friend who didn't reply for 3 days, she said she didn't even notice what I thought I'd done. The mum who was avoiding me, she invited me for coffee next week and didn't mention it. Or I think about the time that someone else sent me a really kind message a month later and said they never pressed send on a message, and they were completely unaware that I'd spent 2 days convinced that I'd offended them. I keep all of those screenshots in a folder in my phone as proof bank, visual receipts for the days that my brain tries to rewrite history. Every screenshot says, see, not every silence means danger. Sometimes people forget. Where ADHD is, I forget to reply all the time. It's a vicious cycle. So it doesn't always mean it's about you. I also keep a file called the RSD repair diary. These are where I write down the moments where I panicked, tried to fix something that wasn't broken, and then accidentally made it worse. I've learned that it's not the silence that hurts me the most. It's actually the scramble to clean it up. Because most of my social mistakes happen after I think I've been rejected and I panic. I don't know about you, but have you ever bombed a Facebook chat? You start typing to try and make it right, smooth it over, and then somehow you end up in this space where you think, I wish I'd never said anything. I think it was fine. That's me learning in real time that panic is actually the worst at writing messages. So now I feel that urgent need to fix it really quickly. I pause and tell myself, this may be another false alarm. Let's just wait until the evidence catches up. So what about when the person replies? It could be 5 minutes later, a few days later, whenever it is, and your phone buzzes. You see the name on the phone and you go, oh my God, it's them. You open it up, freaking out, and it says, oh my God, mad rush, left my phone in the car, sorry, missed you, or whatever it is. And in that moment, everything inside you unclenches. You feel complete relief. The air comes back. The panic feels almost embarrassing. But that's not shame, that's data. That's proof that your body predicted danger where there really wasn't any. So use these moments as your reality file. Next time when the moment feels like danger and the silence just fills your brain and you can't shake it, remember the time it turned out to be nothing. And have you ever sent a really rushed message that sounded short and then someone else spiraled? Remember that too, because that's empathy data. Proof that sometimes it's never about love lost or anything that anyone's done wrong. It can be time, tiredness, too many notifications, ADHD, and that's the full cycle reframe that sometimes it's not rejection. It's actually just real life moving really fast. So you don't need to stop feeling deeply. That's actually self-trust in action. That's where we get recovery from RSD. If you love this episode and you'd like to submit a listener question, please jump down into the show notes and fill out a listener question there. Like, follow, share this episode with anyone that you think it might help. Thank you so much. Quick announcement. Did you know that we have an ADHD Month shop filled with resources designed just for you? These resources are packed with answers to the most frequently asked questions I get sent in via email. Everything from understanding ADHD and autism to practical tips for daily life. There's also a free assessment tool. If you're wondering about ADHD or autism for yourself or your little one, don't forget to check out the free assessment tool under free resources section on my website, adhdmoms.com.au.